Okay, starting this program on such a cheerful note, there is some good news. The Supreme Court this morning struck down the Texas abortion law that supposedly was to protect women. We got to protect the ladies, you know. One part of that law enacted by, it was a two-part Texas law that imposed all sorts of these strict requirements on abortion providers. And it was passed in 2013 by the Republican-dominated Texas legislature, and then it was signed into law by the strangely detached then-Governor Rick Perry in July 2013. And one part of the law required that all clinics in the state had to meet the standards for ambulatory surgical centers, including all sorts of regulations concerning buildings, equipment, staffing. And the other part of this bill that became law required doctors performing abortions to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. And the rednecks in Texas, the white males in Texas, the Christian white males in Texas, and some females, I guess, the Christians, disguise this under the phony-ass cover of being a protection for women. Because, you know, women are so goddamn stupid, right? Women don't know what they're doing. Women, they're just dumb shits, and they have to be protected from themselves. Consequently, these sorts of laws are necessary to protect the ladies. That's what they say. That's what the Christians say. Yes, indeed. Well, the Supreme Court struck down as unconstitutional, and interestingly, the vote was 5-3. So even if Fat Tony Scalia had been alive, it wouldn't have mattered, because you know how he would have voted. But the court struck down as unconstitutional the law in Texas that threatened to shut down half of that state's remaining abortion clinics, which would have denied untold numbers of women, because it's none of my business or your business or anybody's business as to who decides to terminate a pregnancy, and it's none of our business what the reason is. There are laws on the books that protect a fetus beyond a certain gestational period. Okay. But in that period prior to that, no pun intended, cutoff date, it's up to the woman. And it's none of our business. It's damn sure none of my business, or, truth seeker, none of yours, and certainly none of the state's business. Provided the pregnancy termination is handled or conducted within the guidelines of what we consider to be the Roe v. Wade ruling from 1973, 72, that laid out the time frame within which a pregnancy can be terminated. Beyond that, every single person in America should keep their goddamn nose and eyes and hands away from the private matters of a woman who wants to terminate her pregnancy, unless you're a Christian or Muslim or Jewish fundamentalist. Then you're going to try to just ram your ass right into the doctor's office. Wait a goddamn minute. Mostly the Christians. But the Jews and the Muslims have the same restrictions. Where was I? Anyway, this ruling, the title of it was Whole Woman's Health. I believe that was the name of one of the clinics that was targeted. Versus Hellerstedt was the prosecutor. I'm sure Hellerstedt was the prosecutor, or I think. It doesn't matter. That was how it was titled, the hearing, the case. And Several published reports, including New York Times, Huffington Post, are referring to it as the most significant victory for abortion rights at the High Court since the turn of the century. This century, not the 20th, 21st. And it is a major victory because states dominated by these Christian right-wing Republican white male bastards have tried repeatedly to pass and then defend laws that chip away at Roe v. Wade and try to tell women, shut the fuck up, quit asserting the so-called right to privacy. Who do you think you are, a man? State after state has done this. So the ruling today will send these right-wing Christian bastards all aflutter back into their dens so they can figure out another way to try to stick their faces and their hands and their eyes and their snouts into the privacy that everyone is entitled to when they go into a doctor's office.